another video. I brought a special guest with me today. I'll have him introduce himself. I definitely recommend watching this video all the way through. You definitely will learn some things, as I know most of you are definitely into trying to get in really good shape and everything like that, and that's the point of the channel, is I want to help you get there. So I'll go ahead and pass it over to my buddy here, and he'll talk to you a little bit.
So I'm Ned Eric. I have a bachelor's in exercise and nutrition science, also a master's degree from University of Tampa in exercise and nutrition science, certified sports nutritionist through the ISSN, as well as a certified personal trainer. Spent about a year of my life in grad school doing ketogenic diet research, as well as a couple other cool little studies that we did. So yeah, here to help.
Yeah, so I know there, you know, a lot of people probably have questions on keto diets. You know, what is it? And I thought Ned would be a good person to bring on to discuss that. Definitely, if fat loss, you know, is your goal, I think keto diet is a great option. So, you know, first, Ned, what exactly is a keto diet?
So basically, what a keto diet is it's just a diet, a metabolic state in which your body starts to produce ketones in the absence of carbohydrate or glucose for energy. So some people actually call it, you know, a mechanism in which you basically are creating these ketones in order to survive. So a survival mechanism for some. So realistically, that's all it is ketones for energy, fat for energy, as opposed to carbohydrate.
So you're pretty much looking to get into this state,
yes,
of when I guess you would be ketogenic or
yes,
something along those lines. How long does that typically take?
It depends, really.
Okay.
It can take up to a couple months, but realistically, I mean, data shows that within 24 to 48 hours of just fasting in itself, ketones can be made and be upregulated in the body.
Okay.
For a normal person that's just, you know, eating a high-fat diet, I would say probably about 4 to 6 weeks before you start to really see them in the blood.
Okay, so, you know, I guess give me kind of a breakdown of what a keto diet would consist of. Like, what would that look like? Carbs, fats, proteins? Yeah. I think we all want to know.
Yeah, so basically for a classic ketogenic diet, you're going to be looking at about 75% fat. So I know that sounds high,
That's
but
high.
Yeah, that definitely is. But about 5% carbohydrate.
Okay.
So it's a very low carbohydrate diet, high fat diet, and then a moderate protein diet. You're looking at about between 20 and 25% protein.
Okay. So what, I guess the other question that I would like to know is too, so would you say this diet is optimal for fat loss? Would you say this diet is optimal, you know, for gaining muscle? Where would you say the application is for this type of diet?
Definitely fat loss.
Okay.
There are studies out there that do show that it is, ketones are anti-catabolic, so they do actually help with not breaking down protein. Right?
Okay.
So they are protein sparing. But as we know, insulin is a storing hormone, so it is definitely something that we need to build muscle.
Okay.
And with a with a ketogenic diet, we have very low insulin levels. So I would definitely say fat loss.
Okay, fat loss for sure. Okay, which I'm sure is a lot of people's goals. Okay. Now, also, I guess the question is: so, does your body ever become, you know, adapt to this? You know, is there an adaptation process to where eventually the keto diet wouldn't work for fat loss?
No, it's not an there is, obviously we talk about keto adaptation with about 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep.
What I've actually seen in myself and other people around is once you're fat adapted, you can get into ketosis a lot quicker.
Okay.
So if, you know, let's say you go on a weekend away with friends and you spend the time drinking and eating, you know, high carbohydrate foods, you can actually get into ketosis faster. So adaptation actually in this sense is not a bad word in ketosis. But it also, if we look at it, it also comes down to calories. So you're obviously, as you lose that weight, you can't just stay at 3,000 calories to continue losing that weight. So yeah, your body's definitely going to adapt to the calorie intake, but just like it would in any other diet.
Sure. Okay. So the basis remains the same. Calorie deficit is needed, obviously, to stimulate the fat loss that we need.
Yeah, calories in, calories out. There is also, you know, that the hormone play, that camp that comes into play. But I personally still believe in calories in, calories out. You know, expending more than you take in.
Sure. So would you maybe state this as the best type of way to lose fat in your research?
I mean, realistically, I think the best way to lose fat is what can you do and what can you sustain. So, you know, I look at some of my friends. I mean, if you guys have seen Josh Vogel on the page here, so
yeah.
He loves candy. And if I were to put him on a ketogenic diet and take away, you know, candy, oats, cream of rice from him, realistically, physiologically, he might lose that fat. But what about psychologically?
Yeah, you might want to jump off the roof of the gym, right?
Exactly. So, is it superior? There have been studies that show yes.
Okay.
But there have also been studies that show no.
Yeah.
So realistically, if it's something that you can sustain and you love bacon, you love eggs, you love avocado, you love fatty dressings, I enjoy those. But then there are also people that don't necessarily enjoy that. So what can you sustain? That's what you should be doing. As long as you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose.
Okay, so pretty much like if you could eat, I guess in that type of rotation, you would recommend it as being a good avenue.
Yes, it's a tool.
Okay.
I think the ketogenic diet is definitely a tool to add to your repertoire.
Okay, awesome. Well, hopefully, you know, we just wanted to make a quick video, you know, explaining keto. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. Ned's a good friend of mine, and I knew he was definitely qualified to speak on the subject. So hopefully, you know, you enjoyed the video, maybe learned a little bit from it as well, and, you know, maybe a keto diet is for you. I definitely would recommend giving it a shot if you could eat with that type of rotation, you know, really high fat, super low carbs. So, you know, thanks for watching. We'll try to have much more videos to come. I want to thank Ned for taking time out of his, you know, busy day-to-day to do this. We're very thankful here at the channel. So don't forget to subscribe. Got a lot more content coming.